Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. I have to say, it's just so swaggy. Like, I hope to God, I really do. I pray that we can see that happen after a playoff win. Just inject that electricity through my veins, please. Please. Who wanna fly with them fucking Jets? All right, it is your boy. Who wanna fly with them Jets? And we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. And then this dude, I might have to sue this man, copyright infringement. All right, we're rocking the beanie. All right, the smaller beard. Come on now. This is the boy who became king, none other than Mr. Paul Evan Jr. How are you doing? Hey, I can't wait to talk about you, man. How you doing?
Oh, I mean, come on, Wudi. It's awesome. It's spectacular. And I love it because I did a show on this morning. But AG, in his press conferences that he does every Monday, at the end of his opening statement where he gives hey, here's the injury report. Here's how I'm feeling about this. Here's how I'm feeling about that. He went, oh, by the way, Miami Dolphins, we owe you one. And so putting them on notice saying, hey, now, we came to collect and owe you one. And I'm like, okay. We don't have an AFC East win on the docket. Now would be a better time than any to notch that into the bedpost, baby. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, man. We're coming off a win. Let's go.
Yes, definitely coming off a win, a great win at that. I know, you spoke about it on your channel. I've spoken about it on your channel and my channel, but I guess the only combination of those that hasn't happened is you speaking about it on my channel, which is we are live right now at Take Flight Talk. But yeah, definitely a fantastic performance. That touchdown, A.D. Mitchell, my guy. That's what I was expecting right out the gate. Didn't happen. But, good things happen to those who wait. And, Rome wasn't built in a day, all those different cliches. And it was beautiful to see. And shout out my guy Indy Jets out here recognizing where real is real. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Hey, we chilling right now. But like I said in the cold open, we were high, we was flying with those effing Jets. Now it's time to come back down, kind of cool down, and kind of assess what needs to happen or where we're at before we face Miami.
And that leads us to our top questions Jets need to answer before this Dolphins rematch. And by the way, we'll have Brian Miller back on Thursday, baby. Our TX Medic 5, as he goes by on his Twitter handle, Fins Fanatic. He is the architect. He is the pilot of that fish ship. And so we'll be doing that coming up on Thursday. But Wudi, I think this is an interesting coaching opportunity for AG, and I guess that's where we can start. This is AG's first chance at redemption. We played our first three AFC East opponents: New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, all losses, unfortunately. But this is his first chance to study what happened way back in Week 4, Monday Night Football. The Jets were 0-3, the Dolphins were 0-3, and somehow we gifted the Fish their first win of the season. Oh, disgusting. But now this is AG's chance to show I learned from my mistake. I learned from things in that first matchup that I can now employ in this matchup. I'll start off there, Wudi. Do you believe that there are lessons to be learned from Week 4 that the Jets, that something happened in that game, whether it's X's and O's, whether it's a feel thing, a player matchup, something that you believe that they can use in this one? Or is it just, hey, man, it's just a different game and nothing from Week 4 matters right now?
Of course, there's so much to learn, so much to examine. And if AG, the coach of both sides and every side, then he will be examining those, very, very closely. And I believe he will. I do believe that he will be looking at different ways to get advantages. This is kind of touching on a question I am still planning on asking later. But yes, I think they will look at week 4. They will scrutinize everything and make a game plan to make sure that doesn't happen again. Now, if you recall, there are a few things that were out of AG's control. Braylon Allen, that first, amazing drive. I'm not sure if he looked like that would happen, but, he did unfortunately fumble the ball. I also believe, and I could be wrong, and I know you'll be right there to correct me if I am, that was Isaiah Williams' debut. So, that Isaiah Williams does not exist on this New York Jets team. We got a whole new and improved Isaiah Williams, who literally almost just had a touchdown the last game. I don't even know what happened because he was there. I feel like he gassed out something. I don't know. He got a cramp because he was. It was a clear lane. My son was confused. My 4-year-old, he was like, "Yo, like what happened?" I don't know, but yeah. So the personnel is a little different, obviously, especially on the Jets side, but on both sides, the personnel is a little different. But that still doesn't mean that schematically there aren't clear things that they saw that they can approach differently this upcoming game.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think there are a lot of things you can take away. To your point, there's change on both sides, right? Tyreek Hill was out for the season in the middle of that game. He got hurt and then ultimately proved to be out for the season. He led the Dolphins in receptions and yards in that game. He's not a factor, obviously, this game around. And we'll get into some other ones. I don't want to spoil some future questions of some things that are different for other questions. Let's give a big salute to MFC, baby. Mother effing Chew. Yes, sir. Thank you. Bastard business. That membership went to Jamie Rivera, who is now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, and it's the month of December, Woody, so we have a new raffle giveaway happening here on the program. We gave away Marty Lyons autographed jersey and hat last month, and this month, one of the key pieces of the puzzle will be honoring our legend, baby, and this shirt is up for grabs. It's a special commemorative shirt. This is from the New York Jets, with 100% of the proceeds going to the National Kidney Foundation from this shirt that I purchased for our raffle. So a true Jet, it says it on the nameplate, 74 jersey number, and the beautiful image representation of Nick Mangold, the burly beard, the locks, the backward hat, the aviators. So that'll be a central piece of the prize. We have more prizes than this for a raffle prize, but this is the one that we're highlighting right now. So salute to the legend Nick Mangold. We'll never forget you, one of the best Jets of all time. And so that will be a part of that raffle that MFC you just purchased a raffle ticket to. So thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out MFC. Shout out Nick Mangold. Mm-hmm. And I got a question. I got my first question of the episode.
Okay.
And this is an interesting one. Is there any chance that Justin Fields is a Jet next year? And you might be saying, why is this? Why we need to answer this right now? What's the time sensitivity on this? And I think it is pretty time sensitive because we actually were very close to seeing Fields last week. Everyone remembers the AD bomb. I just talked about it. The play before that, I thought he was dead. I thought Tyrod was out for the count. It's actually amazing. Like those two plays happened in succession like that. So I guess my whole point is that if Fields is done, if he is dead and buried, that would mean, we got to elevate this guy. You guys love him. Brady Cook, the QB2, to avoid a situation where Fields has to play again. But if there is a chance, then that doesn't matter too much.
Quick story, 2023. No one really wants to remember anything for that season because it was awful after Aaron Rodgers goes down. But the Jets are playing on Sunday Night Football. I don't know if you will remember this, Wudi, but the Jets are playing on Sunday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's a play happens in the game. Garrett Wilson gets hurt. He hurts his arm. He's stretched out for it, and it hurts his arm, and he's holding it like a broken bird wing. They go back to the huddle. Nathaniel Hackett goes, wildcat throw, Garrett Wilson. And he's probably like, the fuck? Did you just see the last play, man? My arm is all broken up. It's not working. But they're like, wide receiver throw. And he's like, All right. They run the play. Garrett Wilson with the hurt little wing tries to throw it, and it ducks out. The guy was wide open. I believe that was CJ Uzama, which would have been the touchdown, and the Jets could have beaten the Raiders. But they called that play immediately after the arm got hurt. When I saw Tyrod Taylor get peeled off the turf at old MetLife, they went, get up, buddy. And he limped his broken carcass to the huddle. I'm like, all right, you got to call a run play here. You got to help your guy out. You got to let him breathe a little bit. Just hand off the ball so he can hand it off and go, But instead, they called deep bomb. I'm like, what the hell? Did he just call an ambulance, but not for me? Did we get some of that? I was like, oh, snap, because he just uncorked a long ball to Adonai Mitchell. That threw me off. So I thought of that in the moment, and then just when you retold it, I was like, oh, that jumped immediately to mind. Telling that story. But let me answer your question, which is Justin Fields. And it's been herky-jerky for me. I've gone back and forth. I'm like, man, at least he can be the backup. He can be, he's not going to ever ruffle any feathers, or so I thought, although he did make some interesting comments this week, which I'll work into a question later. But I'm like, at least he can be a backup. He's just a good guy. And then I saw the play this season. I'm like, oh boy, he can't be in this quarterback room, because it can't be Justin Fields and rookie. Justin Fields going to play so bad inevitably that we're like, got to see what the rookie has. But I think in a world where potential exists is, I don't know how often I'm doing a copy and paste from the New York Giants, but they had Russell Wilson, they had Jameis Winston, they had Jackson Dart. If Jackson Dart was never ready this season, they had the insulation to go to all these other bodies before they ever got to Jackson. And I think if the Jets go on the route of Kyler Murray and then cue the boo from the audience, okay, they go in that direction to have Kyler, Justin Fields, like you're already paying him. You have him QB2, and then your QB3 is whoever that rookie is. That's not the worst quarterback room in the world. Like, okay, that creates insulation. And if Kyler or Justin, wherever, get hurt for whatever reason, you add another veteran to replace that body so you don't have to rush to the rookie. So I think it is the most likely thing is that Justin Fields is not a member of this team. But you said, is there any chance? And well, yes, I think there's a chance in that world if the Jets get a veteran quarterback, like, again, for example, Kyler Murray. I think you could have Kyler, Justin Fields, and that rookie in the quarterback room. I do.
So with that being said, with you saying there's a chance, you're okay with the current situation of Tyrod QB1, Fields QB2? Or would you still, even with what you just said, think about elevating Mr. Brady Bunch over there?
I think Aaron Glenn gave a very emphatic answer on Monday, and I'll use this as my next question to keep everything linear. So Rich Samini on Sunday, huge shout out to Rich Samini. We'll have to eventually have him on Boy Green Meets Wudi if that ever works out. I know beat reporters are busy around this time, so that may be difficult. But if we ever get Rich on this show, it'd be great to ask him. But every Sunday he puts out this awesome column where he comes up with nuggets that he had cooked up all week, and then he released at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. And one of his nuggets that I went, what the hell, was he spoke with Justin Fields in the locker room. And Justin revealed that the Jets came to him and talked about, hey, you're not the starter. Would you want to do a wildcat thing for us where, we have a package of plays and you're in there? And Justin told Rich what he told the team. I sort of had mixed feelings about it because, I don't want to go cold turkey off the bench, come into the game and get hurt with a soft tissue injury. And Rich puts that out there. A lot of Jet fans, including myself, are like, what the hell? You're getting paid $30 million guaranteed dollars. You get your ass out there, boy. What are you talking about? But I could get hurt. I could get killed walking from my house, getting hit by a bus. You're getting paid $30 million. You better get your ass out there. So, again, I thought that Justin would never ruffle feathers. Then he says that. I'm like, oh, Lordy. And it sent it to a different universe here. But AG's response on Monday to that, Rich asked him, he's like, hey, we talked to Justin in the locker room. He said he has mixed feelings about it. And AG gave this thing that, hey, if we want Justin Fields to do something, he's going to do it. So he said, he seemed to indicate that, hey, if we say Wildcat, he's going to get out there. And so I'm like, okay. And the other thing he said was that, on the whole Justin Fields thing, getting on the field, he's one play away from getting in there. It's Tyrod, then it's him. That's a quarterback situation. So the emphatic nature of how he said that makes me think that, at least for the near foreseeable future, that it's going to continue to be Tyrod and Justin. I think eventually we do get Brady Cook. Is that the final game of the season? Is it the final 2 games of the season? We have 5 more to play with here. Yeah, I think we eventually get there, but I don't think it happens this week. I don't think it happens next week. I think we're a little bit away.
Fair enough. That was an amazing retelling of that story. What I will say in regards to that, because I did see you mention that a couple of times. I never got a chance to mention that on any of my platforms.
Okay.
AG, he used to be with the Saints. My guy Sean Payton, who gave Taysom Hill a career that he's still eating off of. He's still doing that. Payton's long gone, and he's still eating off that role. So,
by the way, real quick here, Wudi,
yeah.
Do you, because it randomly came up on one of my other channels, do you know how much money? Guess. Okay, it's not a big trivia thing. Guess. How much money do you think Taysom Hill has made in his NFL career?
I'm going to have to go with like $40 million.
$60 million. And he's played for, it's almost a decade. It's a little less than that, but it's basically a decade. But he's played this exact, and I'll let you go back to your answer here. But that's basically the role he's played forever. What do you need, coach? Tight end, sure. Running back, all right. Quarterback, sure, all right. Special teams, gunner. He is just like the ultimate football guy, a terrific football player. Just bones about it. No position, football player from college. Like, man, that's a football player. And he's embraced that, and he's had a long, wonderful career. So it's sort of interesting. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, AG, he was there. He saw somebody who was able to eat $60 million off of that. So, to do that with Fields, they were doing that already in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Russell came in, and Russell, he was doing work with George Pickens, who was having a fantastic year, by the way. Yeah. They would bring in Fields for different Wildcat opportunities. So it would be no different than last year. So that answer, I don't like. The idea, I don't mind. But I guess we'll see what happens. Hit us with your next cue.
All right, let me do my we serve. Okay, and it's this: does Justin Fields play in the Wildcat this season? Because again, it's apparently been discussed, which again, it surprised me. So the benching happens, and I immediately say the first game that Tyrod starts is Baltimore Ravens start because of non-injury, like he was chosen. He obviously started week 3 in Tampa, but for the Baltimore game, I'm like, obviously we're going to see Justin Fields out there. How many plays? I don't know if it's 20, but I don't know, 5, 3, something. He's going to come out there. And on the CBS broadcast, they said the Ravens, they got to talk to both sides, obviously. The Ravens went, we're fully expecting the Justin Fields package, and we prepared for it, we're ready for it. And then AG, when he was asked about it, AG's like, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then it never shows up, obviously. And one of the comments they make on the broadcast crew is like, ooh, the Ravens are preparing for it. And it's one of the 3 guys, because it was Andrew Catalon, Charles Davis, my guy, and Jason McCourty, 3-man broadcast booth. And one of them mentions, well, I don't think Justin's going in there anytime soon. He's wearing one of these, boop, and a headset. Like, he doesn't look ready. Hey, Justin, it's time. And he's going to flip off the cape and run in there. They said, it doesn't look like he's running in there anytime soon. He doesn't look like he's in the right way to run out there, and we haven't seen it so far. But apparently it has been discussed. So, Wudi, Justin Fields, after hearing all that hoopla about him, will we this season? Is AG right? Hey, he will do whatever we tell him to do, basically. Do we see some Justin Fields Wildcat action at any point this season, him coming into the game with Tyrod healthy?
I do believe AG when he says what we do, what we tell him to do, he's going to do. I believe, coach. I believe him with that. I also think that Tanner, he likes to get tricky with it. He has a bag. Hey, he has a bag that he likes to dive into, and we've seen quite a few trick play. Every game we see 2, and sometimes they work. A lot of times they do work, actually, but sometimes they don't. So, given what I know so far in 12 games or so, 12 games with this new regime, I'm going to have to say yes. We will see it at one point. This team loves to run the football every way possible. So, I wouldn't even be surprised to see them start designing runs. We're starting to see this around the league a little bit for Mason Taylor. You know, that's somebody who just has natural, like he's a great athlete, natural fluidity. I don't think they're using him as a ball carrier to his potential, like at all, actually. You know, I know he's doing a lot of blocking. He's doing a lot of super short yardage situations, and he has great hands. But in terms of how fluid he moves, just, you know, in zones against the man-to-man, I wouldn't be surprised to see them open that up at some point. But to stick on the question, yes, I would say Fields Wildcat.
All right. I like it.
All right, so then back to me. I'm not gonna do the serve, so to speak, but this is a question I actually asked 2 weeks ago,
Ooh.
and your answer was definitely this is happening, and of course it hasn't happened. So I'm asking again: are these bum ass Jets gonna catch an interception this week? Can they catch anything other than a cold? Can they? Because you said, oh, it was definitely happening against the Ravens. Clearly didn't happen. And then I didn't ask it against the Falcons. You know, I just gave them a week of reprieve. But now we're facing a QB whose nickname is literally turn the ball over. Okay. That is what they call him in the streets. Tua turn the ball over. And you know, is he going to turn the ball over against the New York Jets? Because the Jets have won all season. It's like the most disgusting stats from a defensive coach. And I know he's a coach, so that's why I don't hold it against him, because I never really saw him as like, oh, just a defensive mind. But Steve Wilkes, what are you? I'm going to stop and just pass it to you. What's happening, Boy Green?
I embarrassed myself, obviously, when that question came up 2 weeks ago. And I saw someone, I was looking because here's a break of the fourth wall here. But when I set up these stream links, right, top questions Jets need to answer, like I'll look back at a similar themed episode, because we have two themes, of course, third party Thursdays or Tuesdays. That was a nice little ring. It was a nice zig to the zag. So I look at them and I'm checking construct to make sure I'm consistent with wording, phrasing when we're putting all this together. So I went to our last one because it's been a while since we did the top questions, because there's been a few curveballs thrown in there. So I went back to year one of top questions, and I saw in the comment section someone quoted me. And I went, oh, let me scroll down. It was Yo Holmes. And he went, oh, it's definitely happening. And it didn't, obviously. So I got embarrassed. And I went back and saw the comments, and I was like, oof. So you're giving me a chance for a mulligan. You give me a chance to hit that Control-Alt-Delete. What are you talking about, Willis? I don't know what you're saying. With all that being said, the Jets will absolutely get an interception this week. Come on, Wudi. Here are the stats. You're a stats man.
Gosh.
You're a man built on stats. Who leads the league in interceptions from a quarterback perspective, Wudi? Who is it?
Is it Tua? I actually did not know that, if it is.
Oh, okay. It is. Him and Geno Smith, our good old buddy.
Oh, Geno?
They're tied with
that would have been my first guess, actually, is Geno.
That's terrible. But
he's been so bad this year.
He has. It's been awful. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but it's true. Yeah, he and Tua turned the ball over, are tied for interceptions. They
How many?
14 apiece.
14. Damn.
The next closest after that is Trevor Lawrence with 11. So they have a 3-interception lead on the next quarterback on the list. So I see that and I'm like, well, there's going to be opportunities, and all you need is right. And even this one happened in the Falcons game. This is why it has to happen. There's just so many things that can happen. And it was this I don't know if people remember this one from the Falcons game. They're in the red zone. Kirk Cousins grabs the ball, hikes it, and throws it to the right corner of the end zone. You want to know who's there? Brandon Stevens. No one else was there. The receiver ran the wrong route. He went in. Kirk thought he was going out, and he just threw it right to Brandon. Now, Brandon Stevens can't catch a cold, so it didn't matter, but he threw it right to him, and it would have been 100-something yard pick six. There was no one there. And I was like, oh, my God. And then it just hit me like, man, receivers can run the wrong route. Balls can bounce up in the air. I've seen a bunch of those interceptions across the National Football League of just it doinks up in the air and then, whoop, falls in the hands of, hey, thank you. Merry Christmas, and they're just running off with it. So facing Tua now, obviously the Jets haven't had an interception all season, but I wrote a piece about what AG said earlier on Monday. And I was looking at the numbers again from the first game, like, oh, what was everybody? And Tua was pretty efficient. He was 17 to 25, had about $177, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And he didn't have a turnover or an interception, rather. He did fumble once, but the Dolphins bounced on it. Devon Achane fumbled. They bounced on that because the Jets are allergic to turnovers. But I do believe that it finally happens for the New York Jets against the Fish. Now, I don't know if it's it rains, it pours. I've said that a few times this season. That's meant nothing. So I'm not going to be your local weatherman as far as that's concerned. I don't know if it's 4 or 5 turnovers, but 1 interception. All we need is 1. Just 1. Yes. Tua is in the holiday mood, holiday spirit.
I could have asked you that question every week, and you're going to give me such an emphatic yes every time.
Maybe.
It'd be wrong every time. So I don't even know. So everybody who's watching, I don't know if you should be more or less confident. But the Tua stat, the 14 picks, is interesting. I just don't know. This is funny. I guess I'm a follow up. Is who would be your candidate to catch the interception? We see Brownlee. It's not Brown for me. Brownlee's at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, Brownlee's dropped 1. Brandon Stevens has
dropped like 5.
Who's the other corner? I'm not thinking of it. So Zaire Thomas hasn't played enough, I guess, but like
but he
had the one against the Bengals, but he stepped out of bounds, right? The ball bounced up in the air. He stepped out of bounds and dove back into the field to play and got it, but he didn't reestablish himself, so that didn't count. Or he would have had our first pick, our rookie. So I guess he's had a chance. Who else am I thinking of? Oh, Jamian dropped the one. Who was our safeties? Cisco had one he dropped. Malachi Moore, I can't remember if he's dropped one yet, or is it like an unexpected, a big fatty, right? Like Juwan Briggs, like, oh, wow, doink, it flies in the air. Quentin Williams had a pick against the Eagles back in week 6 a couple of years ago when we beat them for the first time ever. The ball just went whoop, and Quentin went, oh, thanks. Or the Dolphins game, actually.
Quentin athletic, hey.
He had the one against the Dolphins, too, where it bounced up in the air from, who was that, Skylar Thompson? And
yes, I remember that. And then yeah. That was a play of the year. Yeah.
And that was that game was the first time the Jets had won an AFC East game in like 12 games or something. They've been swept every year for like 3 or 4 years. And then
Jermaine Johnson had a pick 6.
I don't think it was in that one. I think that was the Cleveland game.
No, I didn't say it was in that game.
Right. That's another guy. I hear what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, he had the pick 6 against Joe Flacco. He batted the ball up and caught it and ran it all the way back. That was a good one for sure. I'm
seeing Clemens. I'm seeing Clemens in the
yeah, maybe it's Clemens. My gut actually is Will McDonald. He is athletic enough to do something crazy, like Jermaine Johnson-ish, of batting it up, catching it, and having the ridiculous speed or athleticism to do it. And Tua likes to throw those sidearm passes where he does his Phillip Rivers impression. So I can totally sort of envision this. Tua likes getting rid of the ball fast, hikes the ball. He immediately tries to throw one of those bubble screens. Will McDonald was aware of it. He did that in the Falcons game, actually. He went to rush the passer, and he went, wow, this is too easy. Wait a second. There's got to be a screen. Turns around and immediately gets Bijan Robinson. So one of those kind of awareness plays where you get Tua, and he's like, hip. And then, whoop. And then Will's like, whoop. Ball pops up. Ooh. And gets it. So, yeah, give me Will McDonald. Had a pick. E-I-E-I-O.
All right. Well, I don't think the Jets are getting one, but if I am playing this game and they do get one, give me Malachi Moore. I feel like that's somebody who's all over the field to feeling himself, launches one deep, and Malachi, I think he's a really, really good football player.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. All right, let's go back to a question.
Yes.
I wrote about this also in my Dolphins piece this morning. America loves a comeback story. We love comeback stories. It's what this country is built upon.
Okay.
In week 4, you mentioned Isaiah Williams. Was that the Isaiah Williams debut? As a matter of fact, it was, Wudi. And 2 things happened in that game that turned the game, unfortunately, not in the Jets' favor. In the second half, the Jets were getting the ball. We're like, oh, yeah, baby, we're going to be great. Well, Isaiah Williams fumbled that second half kickoff. The Dolphins immediately scored a touchdown. The Dolphins held that commanding lead all the way to the end. The Jets made it interesting at the end, but it didn't matter. So he had a fumble kickoff that resulted in a touchdown. Terrible. He inexplicably fair caught a ball at his own 2-yard line. We all went, Isaiah, what are you doing? And they looked and went, shit. Sorry, didn't realize where it was. And we were like, oh, you got to get this cat off the team. And eventually AG did. A few days later, he cuts Isaiah Williams before our Jets-Cowboys game, but brings him back on Monday, goes to London, and they rebuilt him bigger, faster, stronger. AG, what a great coaching. Hey, that's knowing your players in town. And he had a great rant about that on Monday saying, basically, I know what I'm doing. I know this man. I knew what he was capable of. And some of you people on the outside saying this and that, he's like, we don't listen to the outside noise, but apparently he did because he said outside noise, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not there to catch old AG there. But the question is this. Do you believe that Isaiah Williams gets his redemption? Now, this is a interpretive question. It's not, it could just be yes or no, but does he have a return touchdown? Does he just have a good day? Like he stepped in at receiver when the Jets have been hurt at receiver before and he's made some plays. He's made some plays in jet sweeps, made some plays in punt return, made some plays in kick return. Jets lead several categories in returns so far this season. They have the longest kick return touchdown this year. They lead the league in average yards per kickoff return. They have the most kickoff return yardage in the National Football League. And he has done work both as a kick returner and punt returner. Isaiah Williams is the exclusive punt returner for the Jets, and he shares with Kane Guano because both returners are back there. So Isaiah Williams, does he exact his Miami Dolphins demons on Sunday?
I mean, I guess I don't expect him to have a bad game. I guess is what I'm saying. He's been fantastic. AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. He was fantastic last week. Every week, we can't say nothing bad about Isaiah Williams and Kene Nwangu. Like they two best players on the team. Like that's literally where we're at right now. They just playing rock paper scissors shoot. Like who about to get this touchdown next?
Seriously though, like every time they catch a ball, AG said it at the press conference, and I said it too. Holy shit, this could go for a touchdown. They are having gash 40, 50-yard turns. You're like, holy blank.
Every time.
Like, every time. And I've had other returners, right, where you grab the ball, and I'm like, what's happening? Oh, okay. All right, it wasn't a fumble. Like, on this, it's always positive. It's always like, holy blank. So, yeah, both of them have been phenomenal.
Yeah, so, I'm sure for him, personally, he probably was like, damn, like, the Dolphins, we're facing the Dolphins. Like, that's what happened last game. I don't think the team is locked in on that. I don't think AG, is locked in on that. I just think, it's business as usual. And I do expect him to have a great game.
All right. There you
go. I got one for you. And if you guys watched the Wudi 3 in preparation of the Falcons game, I mentioned that Tyrod Taylor, all 3 starts, was facing a team that was in the top 10 in blitz percentage. So he's just going against heavy blitz every start. And the Falcons were number 2 on that list. So, third in sacks. This time is actually his first start where he is not facing a team that blitzes like crazy. So my question to you is, what are we going to see from Tanner Engstrand? Like, no. Let me ask you, I'm going to actually direct.
Oh, okay.
Is this going to be the best offensive game of the year for the New York Jets, given that they're facing a team that doesn't normally generate pressure? They have a QB who can make throws accurately over and over and over and over again. And they have found a confidence within themselves that they did not have earlier in the season. That seems like a recipe for a good game. I'm asking you, will it be their best game offensively?
Interesting. A very interesting question because, of course, if we're going to go to best, I would assume we would pick Cincinnati with the game that we scored 39 points, of having that from an output of points. But there's a lot of different ways to interpret, of course. You could go yardage numbers and things of that nature. I would say this when I look at the Miami Dolphins, because they're the opponent on the other side. I think it's totally possible this could be the best. They allow 24 points per game this season. Breece Hall has been a monster. A.D. Mitchell just had the best game of his career. First 100-yard game of his career. First touchdown of his career. John Mechie had an uncharacteristically bad game, but he's been rock solid for the Jets. Mason, right? The whole father Dolphins thing, that's extra for him. That was one of his best games of the season, I remember. In week 4, he had something like 8 catches, 60 yards and change. I think that was one of his better games in that one. So, yes, I'm going to say it, Wudi. You want to poke me? You want to poke the Pillsbury Doughboy right in the belly button and go, poo-hoo! All right. I'll lay it out there. Yes. I believe the Jets do have their best offensive game of the season. Hey, if they're going to get one of those interceptions I suggested earlier, that means a short field for the offense to take advantage of. So, hail to the yeah, baby. Because Quantez Stiggers, right? Fumble from Jamal Agnew. Quantez Stiggers jumps right on it. The Jets had an opportunity to cash in. It was easy peasy, and they cashed in. They made it easy. There's been some other years where the Jets have gotten a gift. Oh, here's a short field. How about a field goal? What? They scored touchdown. I think more touchdowns to come. So, yes, I think we're going to get Breece. I think we're going to get some Mason Taylor. I think we're going to get some Adonai Mitchell. I think we're going to get some John Mechie III action. Yeah, I think there's going to be some eating going on, some Thanksgiving leftovers a week later. Yeah.
I think we're definitely in for a good offensive performance. I don't know about the best. This is because I was thinking the Steelers.
Sure.
Was
that's
probably the best. But yeah, 39 points is 39 points. So it's hard to argue against that. But I think I would have to look at how all the points were scored in both games, really. I know Breece had 3 TDs. So he definitely went off against the Bengals. But yeah, I think this is a team that's bottom 4 in rushing yards allowed. So it's really that's what they want to do, right? Is run the football. So I think we are going to see a really great game. I just want to shout out before we get to your next question. Jay Boy said, "Can someone tell me the last time a team came to MetLife and fans are foaming at the mouth, knowing it's going to be a blowout?" It wasn't that long ago. It was literally last year when the Patriots came to MetLife Stadium. We all knew that the Jets were about to lay the smack down. All right, at that time, I literally thought that the Jets were a Super Bowl contender. There was nobody that was going to tell me different. The Patriots were not even close to anything like that at all. Met at MetLife Stadium. Boy Green was there live and in person. I was there live and in person. And we knew, or I knew, like that's why I flew up. It was to see. I don't like to fly and see losses, so I was very confident that the Jets were going to lay the smack down on all their candy asses, and that's exactly what happened. So it wasn't too long ago,
That's a good point. Jets won by 3 touchdowns that night. Excuse me.
In the nighttime.
Yes,
night terrors. Hey.
That week 5 Dolphins game we've brought up a few times now. That's the one where Breece Hall continues to get vultured. Zach Wilson hit Breece Hall on the wheel route down the left hash, and he looked like he was about to dance into the end zone. Then boop, got stopped at the 1, and then got the old Michael Carter helmet tap, and he came in there. We're like, what the hell? And so he got a couple of those. That was a blowout. The Jets won by like 20 or 30 points over the Miami Dolphins. That was another good one.
I don't know if we knew that was going to happen though. That one. Like that's what he's saying. Like,
I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because
that was a surprise. Like, because they scored 5 rushing touchdowns that game. That was unbelievable. That's a good point.
And Teddy got hurt, right? Sauce Gardner corner blitz, first play of the game. Teddy gets hurt, and Skylar Thompson is in, and we're like, oh, and then we're foaming a little, and then like that's where we're at. Oh,
Yes.
That's a good one. But probably to your point, right? It is Patriots. We were all salivating. We were, for sure.
J-Boy, you gotta pick your frown upside down. What do you mean Zach would destroy these? J-Boy, I'm trying to answer your questions with realism. It's not even about positivity and negativity, but you gotta pick your frown, turn it upside down, because what do you mean? Like Lamar didn't pick apart didn't destroy these Jets. Kirk Cousins didn't destroy these Jets.
No.
I mean, come on now. I think we're being a little too harsh, especially on with them getting their like the post sauce, which is a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
But the post sauce Jets, they've been pretty solid defensively.
All right, here's my final question for you, Wudi. Again, I looked back at week 4 to try to see is there things we can learn from week 4 that either we did successful that we could do again or what have you. And in week 4, we had some crazy ass Justin Fields action. We ran for nearly 200 yards rushing the game. 81 of those rushing yards came from Justin Fields. And he had that crazy 4th down play at midfield where he went woo, 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 and then went all the way for a 50-yard score. My question is this. How big of a drop-off is there from Justin Fields as a runner versus Tyrod Taylor? Because Tyrod in this game against the Falcons was squirrely. He was getting all over the place. 3rd and 7 plays, no issues. The big play at the end to get us into field goal range, he escaped out of pressure and made that happen. So I used to think it was massive, but now I'm going to throw it to you and say, what is it? How big is the drop-off from Justin Fields as a runner to Tyrod Taylor as a runner?
It's not that big. I mean, you just saw last week, that Tyrod, he ran when it was appropriate. He got first down after first down. He was the one that drove, to get that first down to put us in a position to have Nick Folk even kick that field goal. He was the one to score that touchdown. I think the advantage is all natural / physical. Justin Fields is obviously way faster. He's stronger. He's quicker. But Tyrod is way smarter. When he run like Fields, he can't read the field. He don't know what's going on. He's like, all right, I got to get out of here. And sometimes he runs into somebody else. Sometimes he runs in, like you said, the squirrely, little 40-yard touchdown. Anytime Tyrod decides to run, it's because the entire left side of the field is wide open, or the entire right side of the field is wide open. So it's more smart running, more opportunistic running. But yes, I would say there's still a drop off because, again, he's not as big or as fast or as quick or as strong as Justin Fields. But from a team standpoint, what you get with Tyrod from a quarterbacking situation is that anytime there's an opportunity to make a pass, he's going to make it. And we weren't getting that with Fields. And unfortunately, Fields, for all the things that I just said, he was not running. He was just taking sacks. So if you factor that, then there's almost no drop off because what you're going to get from Tyrod is the right decision. He's going to throw a pass if it's there. He's going to put a ball in play if it's there. If it's not there, he's running. Fields, he was just self-destructing and taking sack after sack after sack. It was looking like Bonnie Blue out there. Like, my boy was just taking endless sacks. Like, it was unreal. Unreal. So,
Jesus. Wow.
Like, yo.
That was come on down, expect that reference on the show today. God bless America. 44 yards rushing, by the way, for Tyrod in this last game. Like, I've got another one. I got an and one. I'm in the lane. I just got a little bump. Got in the cup. Here's one more. You asked me about Justin Fields. What are the chances he is a Jet next year? What are the chances Tyrod Taylor is a Jet next year? He is a free agent to be, but seeing this level of play, could he be part of the bridge for the Jets next year? We talked about Justin maybe being that too. What if Tyrod's the two to whoever the other prominent name you add in, and inevitably, because Jets quarterbacks always get hurt, that he's going to get out there? What about Tyrod Taylor back on the Jets in 2026?
That's a really, really good question. I don't know the answer right now. I think, especially, all last week, during the game, all I'm hearing is, extend Tyrod. But that's the nature of Jets fans, right? They, one good game, they put you in Ken, and then one bad game, they send you to Alcatraz. So, that's just the nature of that. But I think, and it's up to what Tyrod wants as well, right? Like, I feel like that's another thing that no one ever considers. It's like, the Jets, could benefit, but it's also what Tyrod wants as well. Personally, like how you said, like the Kyler Fields rookie thing, like I feel like if that's the thing, we need a true veteran in there, and that Tyrod would play that role. right? Like Kyler, he's been in the league for some years, but then like a true veteran who's been here a decade plus. And that's where Tyrod would fit in. There's some other guys out there that are Tyrod-esque. If you want me to name one, Marcus Mariota is one of them, where, on the field, they pretty much the same. One's white, one's black, but
Polynesian is
my
you
bad. Yeah,
just to be accurate on my field goal, lining it up and
Polynesian.
Yes.
Polynesian. But both guys who have been in the league for 10 years, super professional, super great teammates. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I would love for him if he was a Jet, but in the most respectful way possible, I think there are other Tyrod Taylors in the sea. So come on now, what?
At least you hit it with the all due respect, I guess, before you said that. But
yeah, I'm hey, because I don't mean it disrespectfully. I actually, before Tyrod Taylor was a Jet, I was campaigning for him to become Aaron Rodgers' backup, which is exactly what ended up happening. But now, yeah, I mean, if he still wants to play, fantastic. But if not, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he does not want to play for the Jets, there are other options there that I think are very, very similar in what they can provide in being a 10-plus year veteran who could still produce results on the field, Marcus Mariota being one of them.
Well, it sounds like, Wudi, if I'm ever single, you're the perfect wingman for me. That's, hey, man, there's other options out there, man, and that you're going to feed me the right stuff. So that's good to know. Let's get a question from the audience here. Troy Sturgis says, I don't know about you guys, but I think Darren Muji's doing a hell of a job. Dare I say GM of the year? Wow, okay, it's a nice little piece of hardware there for the old Moodster. We'll let you, Wudi, answer that first. What do you think of the job that Darren Muji has done for the New York Jets as a general manager? Because to be honest, I imagine a lot of Jet fans, when they said, oh, Darren Muji is hired, Google, who the fuck is Darren Muji?
Well, hey, there is no way that a NFL GM of the year is 3-9. Let me just say that. Like that's just not possible. So nah, he's definitely not GM of the year. But I personally am a big fan of Darren Muji. If you guys, I know y'all were eating turkey, but on Thanksgiving Day, we actually had the top 5 reasons why we were thankful for the New York Jets. And I believe number 3 on my list was Darren Muji. No other Darren Muji. So that shows you what I think about this guy. I think he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He's proven that he is comfortable doing any part of the GM role, which Joe Douglas was not. He was shopping at the bargain. He was shopping at Payless exclusively. Nothing else. Didn't want to look at nothing else. All right. Darren Muji, he will go anywhere that he needs to go. Pay the big contract. Pay the cheap contract. Give up draft picks. Acquire draft picks. This man, he can do it all. So while we can't give him that award, the team is 3-9. Who knows next year what they do with the draft capital that they have, or the year after that, the draft, even more draft capital, to clear up space for that trophy. But right now, I'm super, super excited that he is the GM. And if they do draft a quarterback this year, I need this dude in the room, because I think AG, he was, trying to empower Justin Fields. He's seen some on table, Darren Muji is a former, QB. He played it in college. I want that guy in the room talking a little bit louder to AG when they make this new decision.
GM of the year? I've gone to a bar once or twice, and I've gone up to the bartender. I'm like, let me get something. They're like, what would you want, sir? I'm like, whatever you got. House choice. You tell me. They concoct the little drink. They give it to me. I'm like, thank you. Cheers. Ooh, little strong. That's the GM of the year. Little strong. But I like your enthusiasm, Troy Sturgis. I like your enthusiasm indeed. And I would say, my friend, that there's a lot to like. A lot of different layers to this, whether and this is one of the important ones, and I brought this up before, but I think it's worth continuing to bring up. The ability to admit that you're wrong. I think GMs and a lot of people in football in the NFL, they're the yes men. We're right. We nailed it, and I'm not going to deny that, or I'm not going to admit that I effed up. Right? Like a team takes a quarterback second overall, and they're like, no, this guy's totally the guy. No, there's been absolutely no sign of this guy, but he's the guy. We're going to keep riding this train until the wheels fall off. The true greatness of a general manager, in my opinion, is you make a decision and you write it because, again, you've got to be confident in yourself. But then you see results. You're like, guys, we got to pivot here. I told you guys it was going to be this, but I'm seeing new information. It's got to be that. And the perfect example is what happened at defensive tackle for the Jets. We as fans were screaming for it. You need more help next to Quinn. You need more help next to Quinnen. And they didn't do Bupkis. In the richest defensive tackle draft in modern NFL history since 1990 moving forward, 36 to 40 defensive tackles were selected during April's draft. The Jets didn't take one of them. And a lot of us are like, man, that seems to be bizarre. I have no idea. I thought they may take multiple, not one. Ooh. And then the Jets said, we got it. Then right before the season, Darren Mucci, who originally obviously said, no, we're good. Oh, we ain't good at all. Okay, Derek Nani, get your fat ass out of here. See ya. All right, we need to bring two new guys in, Harrison Phillips, Juwan Briggs. To me, that was just such a move. We hadn't even played a game yet, but he obviously, Darren Mucci, he's seeing every practice and every preseason game. He's like, damn, we need help. And he was aggressive to make the move and realize he made a mistake. That to me is great GMing. There, that's never going to make it on any ESPN story when you're building this Darren Mucci statue. Okay, I'm sure that's not the first 10 things you're going to list in the bullet points at the bottom. To me, that's like, wow, okay. The trades themselves were interesting, but just the decision to make the trades in the first place. Sure, Juwan Briggs has been terrific for the Jets, and sure, Harrison Phillips has been a nice leader, but it was just the decision to me to make those moves told me a lot about Darren Mucci and gave me a lot of confidence moving forward that this guy has his head screwed on straight and he has the right sort of mind for this gig. So, again, GM of the year, tad strong, just a tad. But I like, to me, there's optimism heading into this very pivotal next 2 years where he's armed with 5 first-round picks, and I feel totally confident that he's the right guy to make those decisions.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I just trust him with the cap space, with the draft capital. Like, he has been really, really good managing those things, using them appropriately. I can't say enough positive things about that, but of course, again, to win that award, we gotta be not 3-9.
That's true. And here's one more, just because I saw it on social media recently. Like Brandon Stevens, man, that was the second richest contract they gave out in free agency. Just Fields was number one, and that one obviously has been a disaster. But number two is Brandon Stevens, and the Jets caught so much heat. AG caught heat, Muji caught heat. Like, what in the hell? Who else was bidding here? What are you buying? Ravens fans celebrating, take that loser, like all this other stuff. And the first couple weeks of the season, oh boy. Yep, fans are right. You guys are wrong. Since week 3, Stevens has been awesome. Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, just like we're not calling it, Muji GM of the year. Stevens has been incredibly reliable, a really good tackler. He still can't catch an interception, but who can on this Jets team? And so, yeah, man, I think absolutely deserves a ton of love. The Brandon Stevens thing has been great. And he has even more pressure, he being Brandon Stevens, is even more pressure on him because the Jets trade away Sauce Gardner. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., which obviously another tip of the cap to Darren Mucci. But then you get Brandon Stevens and then Azari Thomas. Those are your 3 corners. Brandon Stevens was getting targeted a whole heck of a lot when that's your group, and he's been just dandy. So, again, another feather in the cap, one Darren Mucci.
Yeah. I mean, he's all right. Drop a whole bunch of. What do you mean? Don't give me that face. He's all right.
That's a nice, but that's a good marriage between coaching and GMing, right? AG says, yes. "Oh, I see it on tape, man. We could do this." And then Muji to work out the contract, and then Stevens to get here, and for AG to be a man of his word and maximize the traits that he believes. He says he's not perfect. These are the issues, but I can fix those issues. That's what AG said. Mm-hmm. AG was right. He has fixed most of those issues, not the turnover stuff. That stuff still, that still escapes our young Brandon Stevens at this moment in time. That trait, that ability to catch football still escapes him at this point. But, that's been nice.
Fair enough. I'm still, I feel like I want to give our guy one of my faves, J Boy, a hug right now. Like this, how can you say they are moving exactly like Gase? What are you talking about? Yeah, that's not even. That's not true whatsoever. Like, so I know we down, and like trust me. I feel like right all summer people were calling me negative Wudi. Who was it? There was somebody who specifically was like, Woody's on here like about to be negative. No, I was real. I was real. R&R, that's what it was. R&R, yeah.
I haven't been in here in a while, but yes.
And now the months have been folded, and everything that I was saying, has to a T. I'm talking about bullseye with it. But that doesn't mean, that is a lasting, an everlasting situation, because what they did was flip 3 players into a boatload of picks and kind of reset themselves with a lottery type situation. So looking to that, now I'm not saying it's a guarantee, and I think too many of you think it is. Like, yo, we set for the future. Even though we literally just had this situation in 2021 and 2022 and still didn't make the playoffs. So it's not a guarantee, but it is a real good shot.
Concur. Again, 5 first-round picks, we'll see what happens. They're just draft picks at this point. But again, to me, the sole mission of the New York Jets and Darren Muji is find a friggin' quarterback. You have 5 first-round picks. You have, what would that math be? You have $310 million over the next 2 off seasons. You have money. You have draft picks. You have assets. Like, you literally have everything at your disposal. It's not easy finding a quarterback. Obviously, the Jets have been searching for it for half a century. So it's difficult. But he is as equipped as anyone to find that player in every nook or crook or however it's going to happen. And if he does, we're going to be talking about those playoff wishes you had late last night, Woody, where you're moving around in bed about the dreams of playoffs and this, and are we going to fly with him, and all that. It's about finding the quarterback.
One last thing I'll say about that,
yes, sir,
is that Darren Muji has been in the room with a franchise, or for a franchise that tried so hard to find a QB, and included names that you guys know too well. Trevor Siemian. I'm sure none of us want to know that name, but that was somebody who the Broncos thought could be their franchise guy. Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
A whole bunch more names than
Peyton Manning.
Well, like Peyton was like fantastic.
He wasn't during that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but like
they dragged that dead carcass.
You cannot include Peyton. He literally had like the greatest season in NFL history.
Great find by Muji. That's on his docket. Hey, this Peyton Manning guy. You should give that a look.
Well, I can't believe it. So anyway, back to the real world.
Yeah.
When he was in the room with George Patton doing their thing, where he's seen so many failures, and I feel like he knows what to look for in terms of red flags, because he's seen so many red flags, and he wasn't the decision maker there. I'm not saying, right, because a lot of you can take that as like, yo, damn, like this dude was picking all these people. He's not the decision maker, but he's been in the room. He's seen the scouting report for each of those guys, combed through it in and out, and then has seen up close and personal what went wrong for each of those guys. And a lot of times when you have seen it go wrong so many times, you know how or what it looks like for it to go right. So that's why I have a lot of faith in Muji. He was a QB. He's been part of that search, and he was there for the Bo Nix pick. And then now, working with AG, hopefully he can balance out, AG's bravado and give him some actual, data and guidance on who to pick, whether it is a draft pick or a young Kyler Murray, something like that.
Amen.
Well, I guess that's it. For Boy Green Meets Wudi. Come on now, Tuesday we asking questions. We gave a lot of answers. We seen your questions, tried to provide a lot of answers. Come on now. Always a great time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, talking with our people, talking New York Jets, and it's even better when it's fresh off a W.
That's true. Let's play it a couple of times. Come on, Wudi. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Who?
Woo!
Who wanna fly with them Jets? Who wanna fly with them
I feel like I need to keep adding every one to our clipboard because obviously those are 2 of the 3 wins. There was a third one, and I just saw it, so I feel like I might just have to keep adding it. And then because I was just at the Notre Dame Syracuse game where Notre Dame won 70-7, and every time they scored, the student section someone did push-ups on top of the student section 70 times every time. So 7 times, 14 times, 24 times, 30. And then by the end of the game, they had done 400 push-ups if you had done it every point that it came through. So I'm circling back to this, that if we had to keep playing these after every Jets win, here's 10 seconds, here's 5 seconds, here's another 7, hey, I'm willing to play it. Who want them fly? And do-do-do-do. So I think I'll have to keep adding them to the pile.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, if we get that after a playoff game, that would cure any disease anybody's ailing from. Come on now, inject that straight to my veins. Shout out to all the people watching Take Flight Talk at Boy Green 25. Come on now, like and subscribe. Please show us some love. Absolutely free to do so. To just show some love to the channels. And we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back in 2 days. Holla at your boys with Brian Miller talking about them fish, those stank ass fish, and talking X's and O's and talking about strategies on how to get this dub.
Amen. Amen. Preach, 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 Woodster. Preach on it. So appreciate y'all. And again, we'll be back. I'll be back, tomorrow morning for another episode of Boy Green Daily. And we will be back together, reunited, and it feels so good. Thursday, 3:00. We'll see y'all then. Wudi?
Fly with them Jets.